I'm Fall One meteorologist Kim Adams. First at 4. What a mild afternoon. Right now, downtown Detroit is at 78 degrees, but a cold blast of air is on the way. We'll talk about it in just a few minutes.
Also first at 4, a former worker at a Macomb County high school faces a charge of criminal sexual conduct. What we know so far. MSU scandals and controversies taking a toll on the Board of Trustees. We'll talk about why one board member was reduced to tears. And here's DeMond.
It's not just an ordinary bridge. There's some innovation about this bridge back here that's connecting communities in a special way. I'm DeMond Fernandez, and I'll have that story coming up.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, there are criminal charges in the death of a missing East Point woman, and we are learning more about the horrible way she died. The woman's son, Justin Jackson, has been charged with her murder, tampering with evidence, as well as lying to police. Police didn't get specific, but say several weapons were used to kill Samantha Gunther back in June. She wasn't reported missing by her daughters until September, but they said it wasn't unusual for her to be out of touch. Prosecutors say Jackson got angry with his mom for contacting protective services about the welfare of his children. Her body was found this week in a storm drain. Her son is being held on $10 million cash bond. A former third-party employee at Fraser High School has been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct with a person under 13. 25-year-old Robert Lindsay formerly worked for EDU staff and resigned prior to his arrest. If convicted, he faces a minimum of 25 years in prison. Now, the school district released a statement saying, in part, quote, in light of their arrest, this person is prohibited from being on district property or having contact with any of our students and or their families. We are committed to the safety of our students and expect all staff to adhere to the highest ethical practices and conduct. Emotions running high this afternoon over in East Lansing. The school is weathering multiple scandals right now, many of which were addressed during a contentious Board of Trustees meeting. Top of mind is the letter written by trustee Brianna Scott accusing the board chair of bullying. The accusations have led to concerns MSU could lose its accreditation and federal funding. Today, chairperson Rima Vassar denied those allegations again. Then Scott responded, tearfully addressing the public backlash she's received since releasing her letter.
And I'm doing what I believe is the best thing for this university. It has nothing personal. I got more to lose, and I have lost more, including people that I had close relationships with who now are after me just because I came forward.
Governor Whitmer also weighing in on the situation, saying if the accusations are bullying are accurate, it would be a serious breach of conduct. She went on to say there should be a full investigation into what happened. Well, it has been nearly 48 hours since the UAW and Ford reached that tentative agreement on a new contract, but still no deal for General Motors or Stellantis. As far as we know, negotiations continue, but we're not hearing of any breakthroughs or additional strikes at this time. About 29,000 UAW workers at those two companies remain on the picket lines. Others have been laid off due to the strike. The Ford agreement is not a done deal. The UAW's National Council is coming to town Sunday in the first step toward ratification. Business editor Rob Maloney will join us with a live update tonight at 5. Well, if your weekend plans involve any trips using I-94 in Wayne County, we have a closure that we definitely want you to know about. Both directions of the freeway will be closed from the Lodge Freeway to Gratiot. The closure starts at 9 p.m. tonight, ends Monday at 5 a.m. MDOT says the closure will allow crews to remove the Beaubien Street overpass and the Seminole Street pedestrian bridge. We've got the detours and all those ramp closures you need to know. Check out clickondetroit.com. From traffic to weather, Kim Adams tracking your weekend forecast, and she gets us started with today's first forecast. Gorgeous out there, Kim.
Oh, it's so pretty. We've got temperatures right now in the 70s, 78 downtown, 74 in Mount Clemens, also in Pontiac, 75 Metro, low 70s in Ann Arbor. It's a little bit warmer than it was yesterday in most areas by about 5 or 6 degrees, but 12 degrees warmer right now in Grosse Ile than it was at the same time yesterday. But that's all about to change. There's a cold front back out to our north and west. It's producing a few showers up north in northern lower Michigan, and eventually that line will make its way here to Metro Detroit overnight tonight, but be done by tomorrow. So very quick showers. 6 o'clock, we're dry. By 8, 9 o'clock into the 10 o'clock hour, we'll start to see a couple showers develop, but nothing to really affect your plans, at least this evening. Temperature trend, though, look at this. Mid-60s for the high tomorrow. We'll hit that after midnight, and then we drop down into the 40s next week. We'll talk about the Halloween forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Kim. In other news, armed, dangerous, and still on the loose. That's the concern for police and residents about the suspect in a mass shooting in Maine. Now, in the past few minutes, we did just learn the 18 people killed range in age from 14 to 76 years old. 13 others are injured. Let's bring in Kimberly Gill. She is tracking all the very latest developments for us.
Yeah, hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. It must have been a stressful 24 hours for residents all around Lewiston, Maine. I mean, just think about it. They've been sheltering in place, worrying about what the suspect might do next, and wondering where and when he might be found. This is one of the staging areas where officers are coordinating the search for 40-year-old Robert Card. Police say focusing part of the search on a river near a boat ramp where his car was discovered yesterday. Divers will be searching that river. Investigators found a letter at a home associated with Card to his son. They describe it as a suicide note, but say it didn't provide any specific motive for the shooting. Card's cell phone was also found at the home, making the search more difficult since phones are often used to track suspects. Reality and loss are settling in for relatives of all the victims, and for now, residents are still being told to shelter in place.
That's an ongoing conversation that we'll have every minute of every day. Does it make sense that those orders are still in place? And can we relax those, change those? They have not been changed in any way at this point, but we realize that we want to keep our community safe. So that's again, the forefront of our minds.
Hate will never bring my son back. All I can say is, I'm sorry that has happened to all of us, and I'm sorry what may happen to him. And God will prevail.
It is just absolutely heartbreaking, and investigators say that they've received actually more than 500 tips. The director of public safety there says officers will be working around the clock until they find Card. We'll have an update on the search when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. So,
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Well, tensions keep rising in the Middle East as the entire region keeps a watchful eye on Israel's war with Hamas. Today, the United States hit 2 Iranian-linked targets in Syria in retaliation for drone attacks on American military bases. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said those attacks are separate from Israel's conflict, but it's happening as Israel continues its bombardment of Gaza, including a second raid into the territory as it prepares for a larger ground offensive. Meantime, living conditions for Palestinians continue to deteriorate. UNICEF was distributing water today at this school shelter. Civilians are running low on food, and disease is also becoming a real problem as sewage flows into the streets of Gaza. Here at home, we are covering 2 community celebrations, including something special for 24 police officers. We were in Macomb County just before noon for a special ceremony at the Warren Police Department. Mayor Jim Fouts and Police Commissioner William Dwyer were both on hand to celebrate a big promotion and swearing-in ceremony. A total of 24 newly hired and newly promoted police department employees were honored. Dwyer says this ceremony is especially meaningful because it could be his last as police commissioner. Now, let's move to Wayne County for the celebration of a bridge project that's about much more than just road construction. The new 2nd Avenue Bridge in Midtown is officially open. It connects Wayne State's campus to neighbors in the city's news center area. Some residents told Local 4's Damon Fernandez the new bridge and the access is long overdue.
Some neighbors are pretty excited right now. They say this new bridge back here is bringing new possibilities, connecting communities across Detroit's Midtown area. At the edge of Wayne State University's campus,
it just looks nice.
A new bridge is becoming quite the buzz among commuters.
Before we had to go all the way around, and now it's like a straight shot. So it's like whatever we have to do, activities that are done, like in Midtown, yeah, straight there.
Kimberly Ritchie and Lucy Teague are among those celebrating the completion of the 2nd Avenue Bridge, a new bridge with an innovative design stretching over I-94 in Detroit.
It's convenient for all of us.
Part of the convenience for commuters is this bridge is connecting Wayne State to what neighbors call Tech Town and amenities across the News Center area, like the Fisher Building, Henry Ford Hospital facilities, and some local schools and businesses.
Well, for me, like getting to the hospitals and you get to the Lodge Freeway and everything, this is like a straight, and my church also.
And some say this bridge's multimodal design is better reflective of the community's needs. Now commuters are taking advantage of its bike lanes and pedestrian walkways, a big difference from the old bridge that was torn down.
It was horrible, holes all in it, and crumbling.
The celebration of this 1,100-ton bridge is multifold. The nation's top highway administrator, Shailene Batts, says the innovative engineering of the bridge saved a lot of money and hassle. It was built off-site, so disruptions during construction were minimized.
They were able to actually just move it into place and drop it into place instead of constructing it in a traditional manner, again, with lots of disruption.
Now officially open, commuters say this new 2nd Avenue bridge is not just convenient, they say it also looks nice.
I'm excited about the lighting, so that's why I like driving at night. I love night driving, so seeing the lights is like amazing to me.
In Detroit, Damon Fernandez, Local 4.
Oh, what a great new addition. Thanks, Damon. The new 2nd Avenue Bridge is just one part of the state's multi-billion-dollar project to modernize parts of I-94. Governor Whitmer says she is optimistic more projects like this can improve other communities across Michigan.